What if I told you that one of the richest, most handsome young men in all of Mecca, a man who had everything, wealth, status, fashion, and fame, gave it all up for something you can't touch, can't buy, can't even see? He traded silk for rags, luxury for sacrifice, and became one of the most powerful reasons you and I are Muslims today. Stay till the end, because his story doesn't just inspire faith. It shatters our definition of success. This is the story of Mus'ab ibn Umair, the prince who chose poverty. Before we dive in, did you know that 95% of viewers who love stories like this never actually subscribe to the channel? If you want more stories that revive your iman, pause for 1 second and hit that button. It means the world, and it helps us share Islam with millions more. Now imagine walking through the streets of Mecca 1,400 years ago. The air is warm, the sound of merchants fills the bazaar, and every head turns, not because of a royal parade, but because of one young man. He's dressed in the finest silk, perfume follows him like a shadow. Even the sand beneath his feet seems to respect him. That was Mus'ab ibn Umair, the son of one of Mecca's wealthiest families. His mother adored him. He was her pride, her diamond. He had everything most people dream of, but deep inside, he felt something missing. Something beyond wealth, beyond admiration. He wanted truth. One evening, whispers spread through Mecca. A man named Muhammad was claiming to be a prophet. Mus'ab's curiosity burned. He couldn't ignore it. So, secretly, he went to Dar al-Arqam, the small house where the prophet met his followers in secret. He entered quietly. He sat down. And then, he heard the Quran for the first time. By time, indeed mankind is in loss. Each verse hit his heart like thunder. It wasn't poetry. It wasn't just words. It was truth. Tears rolled down his face. He looked at the prophet and whispered the words that would change his life forever. Ashhadu alla ilaha illa Allah. Washington Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasul Allah. In that moment, the golden boy of Mecca became a servant of Allah. When his mother found out, her love turned to fury. She locked him inside their mansion, away from everyone. Days turned to weeks, weeks to months, but his faith only grew stronger. When he finally escaped, she stood before him and said, "Either you leave Muhammad, or you leave me." He looked into her eyes and said with calm pain, "Oh my mother, I love you. But my love for Allah and His Messenger is greater." She threw him out, the perfumes, the gold, the soft clothes, all gone. He walked into the streets of Mecca barefoot, dressed in torn cloth. But his heart was dressed in light. The prophet saw something special in Mus'ab. Not his looks, not his wealth, but his wisdom and gentleness. So when the people of Medina accepted Islam, the prophet chose Mus'ab to be the first ambassador of Islam. Just imagine, a young man, barely in his 20s, walking into a strange city with no army, no wealth, no power, just a Quran and a smile. He went house to house, person to person, reciting verses, explaining Islam with compassion and patience. Before long, every house in Medina had heard the message of Allah. Because of Mus'ab's work, the Prophet would later make hijrah to a city ready to receive him, the city we now call Medina al-Munawwara, the enlightened city. Then came the Battle of Uhud. Mus'ab carried the banner of Islam, leading the believers with courage. When the enemy charged, he stood firm. An arrow struck his hand. He switched the flag to his left. That hand was struck too, so he held it with the remains of his arms, reciting, "And Muhammad is but a messenger. Many messengers have passed before him," he fell. But the flag, the symbol of Islam, never touched the ground. When the Prophet found his body after the battle, he couldn't hold back his tears. They didn't even have enough cloth to cover him completely. He, who once wore the finest silk, was now wrapped in a small piece of fabric, but his soul was wrapped in honor. Mus'ab ibn Umair, the man who had everything, and gave it all up for Allah. So ask yourself, if he could sacrifice the world for the truth, what are we willing to sacrifice for our faith today? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you trade comfort for conviction, like Mazab did? Your comment might inspire someone else to reflect. Let's make this story viral for the sake of Allah. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, because there are more forgotten heroes whose stories deserve to be heard. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.